Over the 30 plus years that I've worked in the local church, I've seen one church after another that has struggled to find a way to grow. How is it that churches grow? How do they become something bigger than what they are? We usually think it's some kind of evangelism or maybe some way to engage with people in our community. But the truth is that our churches, not only have they shrank over time, they've also grown older. It's no secret to look around our churches that the median age of our congregations continues to go up and up and up. There's lots of reasons for this change. We could talk about how the church hasn't engaged with the culture around it the way it should. We could say that there's been different levels of leadership effectiveness, both among our clergy and our lay people. But one thing is true about our congregations, even as they've experienced this decline over the years and as they've grown older, is that young people, the lifeblood of the church, have grown silent. And in some cases, they've even become absent. I think it's important for us to pause for a moment and consider what it means for our churches to learn and discover what it means to grow younger. But to do that, we have to acknowledge what we have failed to be as a church. That all too often we've failed to be a church that knows how to engage young people, knows how to talk with them, knows how to deal with the real issues of their life. And so is it any wonder that they're oftentimes absent from our churches?
To all the young people wounded by our churches, forgive us. Forgive us for our broken institutions. Forgive us for our broken relationships. Forgive us for all the ways you felt abandoned, like you didn't belong. Forgive us for our attempts to control, our refusal to listen. Forgive us for our fear of questions and love of certainty. Forgive us for our judgment, for withholding grace. Forgive us for hiding our failures, our stories, our hearts. Forgive us. We believe in new beginnings. We believe mending wounds takes time, but is worth every second. We believe we are better together. We believe in you.
The mission of the United Methodist Church is make disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world. But if I were to ask you, what is the vision of your church? I was once asked, and I work on this question, what gives me hope in the life of the church and the community? The young people, they give me hope. And if the church is the best place for our young people to grow, then we need to make some changes. Allow me to share with you a three-way action plan. First, arouse. Arouse the interest and the passion of the youth and young adults in being engaged in church innovations and ministry and mission. And how? Shift the culture of our churches in growing young our churches. Secondly, organize the youth and the young adults in being engaged for inclusion in redirecting the life of the church in mission and discipleship. How? It's through the Growing Young Cohort. Support them financially, because the plan of the Growing Young Cohort is to send 4 members in a team from a local church, and one of them is a young adult. Third, the last but not least, is mobilize. Mobilize our youth and our young adults in getting engaged in the mission and the vision of the church, in growing our churches. And how? Again, it's through the Growing Young Cohort. Send 1 young adult with 3 leaders in your churches to be engaged in learning and understanding in shifting the culture of the church to prioritize the young people in our churches. And my hope is that our church will grow and make a difference in this community and the world where we live in. Aroused, organized, mobilized, grow our young people in our churches.